Take an almond croissant and some used coffee grounds, hand them over to this bartender, and you'll get this. A thriving food and beverage scene in Hong Kong brings with it high amounts of food waste that's disposed into landfills. In our Responsible Restaurants series, we learn about how restaurants are doing their part to reduce carbon footprint while still serving delicious food. Chanel Adams, the beverage concept architect for Double Shot, designed this spent martini. She transformed used coffee grounds from the cafe side of their business at Cupping Room, a coffee roaster in Hong Kong, into this delicious cocktail.
So with my time in Cupping Room, I noticed that there was quite a lot of leftover coffee grounds, and that might be a really good use to make our own coffee liqueur. So I decided to kind of try different types of infusing to create Double Shot's coffee liqueur. We tried different types of spirits to see what would be the best for extracting flavor and not give a lot of flavor itself. We decided on rum. Based on that, we had to figure out how much coffee grounds to use, because if you use too little, it doesn't give a lot of flavor. And if you use too much, it becomes very, very bitter. So eventually I finally found the right ratio.
Chanel started crafting the spent martini after being inspired by trash tiki, a food conservation movement amongst bartenders that's slowly making its way around the globe.
So Trash Tiki likes to emphasize reusing things that are typically thrown away in bars. So this is something that I don't see happening very much in Hong Kong, and I wanted to kind of change for any place that I help open.
She also asked for the leftover almond croissants at the cafe that weren't sold at the end of the day.
When you heat almond croissants with water, it helps extract the flavor, and add a bit of sugar, it helps extract the flavor of whatever pastry it is that you put into it. So I've tried it with almond croissants, and you get it actually tastes like an almond croissant.
From one almond croissant, they managed to extract around a cup of syrup. This then goes into the spent martini for a light and fruity flavor profile compared to the classic espresso martini that is very rich.
So there's a huge issue with waste in Hong Kong, just because of limited space. So fridge space is such a commodity essentially that it tends to be cheaper to just throw things away and rebuy them than find places and pay for storage. So there's a really big issue in terms of wastage. I think movements like Trash Tiki are super important, and just people being very cognizant of reusing things from their kitchen or working with their kitchen to not to limit waste on both ends is going to be something that is very important for Hong Kong's future, especially until they figure out how to store their trash.